Why do I care if shoes are sitting? Because sitting shoes tells a bigger story about the sneaker culture, about timing, access, and saving money. Let's break it down.
Back in the day, sneakers sitting on shelves was completely normal. Collectors benefited, enthusiasts benefited, and when pairs didn't move, they went straight to the outlet. That's how I built most of my sneaker collection. For example, the Jordan White Thunder 4s, they dropped last August. I could have bought them since day one, but they sat. Fast forward, Nike clearance store in my era had them. That's sneaker culture for you. Waiting can pay off. Then the sneaker game shifted around 2016 and 2017. StockX and GOAT popped up. Now anybody can scan a shoe and see the resale value instantly and flip it right from the store aisle. Arbitrage got too easy, and suddenly shelves got cleared fast. Before that, if a shoe sold out, you went to eBay. Prices were maybe $50 over retail at best, but if it sat, you can catch it at an outlet for half of that price. Everybody ate.
When I say a shoe is sitting weeks after release, it's not just me reporting. It's useful information. Here's the reason. Timing matters. Not everyone's buying a shoe on release day. Some kid out there saving them birthday money, maybe Christmas money. Parents are handling back to school as we speak. There's so many different reasons. And others are waiting on some form of rewards, maybe a discount or even birthday coupons. Let's look at another example. The Reimagined 4s. Day one, that shoe sold out instantly. But later, I also found them in a Nike factory store. Matter of fact, it was a Nike clearance store. People who waited actually won. A lot of you guys may not know, but every shoe hits the outlet. I preach that all the time in all my videos, especially when I visit the Nike outlets and the Nike factory store. Another reason, there's so much potentials in these outlets is unreal. When pairs sits for weeks, they often go RTV, which means return to vendor. That stock gets shipped back to Nike, and guess where that stock ends up? It ends up in the Nike factory store or clearance stores. And they may even end up in Ross and Marshalls. Hence the reason why some people be getting lucky at those spots. And here's a most recent example. If you guys been following my channel, you already know. I always talk about the Air Jordan 1 UNC Reimagined. I want that shoe. I like that shoe. After it sat, I realized I probably can get it in the outlet. And guess what? They're widely available at the Nike outlet. They didn't sell out. Now you can find them as low as $100. I know, because I shot a video not too long ago. I even had people hit me up that they got them for 70 beans. That's crazy. That's lower than whatever I saw them at. That's why it pays off to track what sits, because it pays dividends and save you a lot of money in the long run.
So knowing where shoe sits also means knowing how banners works. For example, JD Sports, Finish Line, Shoe Palace, DTLR, all under the same umbrella. Even Hibbet Sports, but they all have different systems. Matter of fact, some shoes that you will find in JD Sports, you're not going to find in Shoe Palace. For example, Kobe's, LeBron's, even foam posits, you're not going to find in JD Sports, but Shoe Palace will have them. However, the change are not interoperable. You're not going to be able to return products that you purchase at one location to another location. So knowing what store has what, narrow down your chances of finding exactly what you want for the price you're willing to pay for it. Same thing with Foot Locker and Champs. One umbrella, different systems, they get different shoes. Champs, for a while, wasn't even getting Jordan Retros. They just start getting it again towards the end of last. And Foot Locker House of Hoops, they get Kobe's. But you can have another House of Hoops down the street that don't even get Kobe's. So again, you're narrowing your gap to know what's available and where. And that's the goal. So if you see pairs at one banner, it's not guaranteed you're going to find another one. It doesn't mean just because it's under the same entity that all locations going to have the same product. Each one moves differently. Now, if you're still confused on how to use this info, let me break down how I think. If a hype shoe like the Reimagined 4s can sell out instantly, but still land in the outlet, I know that. You don't. So me telling you what I see is giving you first knowledge in hand on what I think may happen. Don't panic. Don't get overexcited. Don't buy off for scarcity from these third-party platforms that resell shoes. There's no need to do that. Be patient. A ton of these stores also have restocks online. Just because you don't see it in store also doesn't mean it's not online. And you also have slow movers like the White Thunders. They sat for a few weeks and eventually they landed in the outlet. Now, those are anomalies. It happens, but pretty much every shoe hits the outlet, including the middle of the road UNC 1 Reimagined. I preach about how I like that shoe. I want to get that shoe, but I know it's going to be outlet bound. And I was patient and I waited. And we found them most recently at a Nike factory store for $100. Matter of fact, I had a few people hit me up telling me they got it below $100. One guy told me he got it for $70. Crazy still. Then we got the most recent release, the Shattered Backboards, right in our face. It was available in every store from JD Sports to Shoe Palace to Champs and Foot Locker. All had pairs widely available. That's not a bad sign. That sounds like opportunity to me.
So I got to give a little pushback about the most recent release Air Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard. I just covered that video not too long ago. So guys, when I say the shoes are sitting, I'm not saying they're trash. I love the Shattered Backboards. If they hit the outlet, I might just double up. But this info is valid. It isn't just for me. It's for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that you may not know watch this channel from around the world. I'm not talking about just United States. I'm talking about overseas, from Europe. Matter of fact, if you're watching this channel from a different country outside of the United States, comment down below. Because a lot of people forget that it's just not people in the United States that's watching. And some of these people get one opportunity to make a purchase. They need to know where shoes are located. So we got to take our blinders off and stop misinterpreting why people buy shoes. Now, everyone is chasing hype or resale value. Some of us is doing it for the passion, some for the colorway, some for nostalgia. Everyone got their own reason. And that's what makes sneaker culture so diverse. 15 years ago, if you had the same shoe on with someone in my school, bro, that was a problem. No one wanted the same sneaker. We had such an identity crisis back then that everyone wanted something unique. And sometimes people won't even tell you where they bought their shoes because they didn't want you to have it. Now we live in a world of social media and people only buy what they see other people rock. There's so many examples we could talk about, from the Pandas to the Jordan 1s. All that became hype during the pandemic. But some people been on that wave way before it was popular, way before there was hashtags and like buttons. I was one of them. And let's not even talk about sneakers that we played ball in. That's nostalgia for a lot of us. We grew up in the 90s playing basketball. We saw Jordan play in certain shoes. We want to be like Mike. We want to be like Iverson. And for the younger people, probably want to be like Kobe or LeBron. So they bought their shoes very early on. There's so many reasons and explanations that people can give on why they buy shoes. And there's so much more reasons I can give you on why I report why shoes sit or sell. And shoe sitting matters because it gives people options. The sneaker culture isn't just about sellouts. It's timing, access, opportunities. Sometimes you win day one. Sometimes you win later on. We call that delayed W's. I think Bullet RC coined that phrase. My job is to show you the shelves so you guys can make the right decision. Anyways, this is just my take. Based off the comments I have read, drop your walkaway price for the Shattered Backboards. I know it's $185 at the moment, but at what point in time will you pull the trigger? I do have a second pair in mind, and it's something I'm gonna get for the outlet. It definitely gotta be like around $1 to $120 in pricing. Obviously, I want to go with the $100 out the door, like how I saw those UNC ones, and I still didn't buy them because I wanted everything intact, and I have a way of getting it. Eventually I will get that UNC one Reimagined. Shattered Backboards, I have plans on doubling, but let me know if there's a walkaway price for you where you will buy this particular shoe at what said price. We call it the walkaway price, the price where you'll walk away with the shoe in hand if it meet whatever monetary value you're willing to pay. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm gonna see y'all in the next building. Peace.